Battlefall State of Conflict is a post-apocalyptic, old-school RTS available on Steam. It could be the grandchild of Command & Conquer, albeit a young grandchild that still has some growing to do. The visuals are clearly meant to pull on your nostalgia heartstrings, which for the most part succeeds, and there are some small yet pleasant touches in there, such as the flash of lightning briefly allowing you to see through the fog of war. Sound effects and voiceovers are genuinely impressive, along with a heavy soundtrack. There will eventually be 3 wildly different factions, but upon initial early access release, there are 2 playable factions, a fully voiced 9-mission campaign, offline and PvP multiplayer on 17 skirmish maps, with 1 human and up to 6 bots, as well as co-op campaigns, all of which makes Battlefall State of Conflict an interesting prospect for the future. But although there is plenty of fun to be had and decent mission design, ultimately this early access game has a long way to go before it will reach its potential. Playing across this post-apocalyptic landscape, which has basically received the Skynet treatment, you'll eventually be able to play as 3 very different factions. First, we have the Earth Forces Network, otherwise known as FNET. The first campaign you can play in early access is the FNET campaign, and they're basically your standard military force with your standard cheesy one-liners. There's nothing too notable about them, but then we get to the Scrappers, who are basically drunk Australians right out of Mad Max. I'm not even exaggerating here. A large part of their gameplay is about spawning dudes from a bar that has giant neon signs of kangaroos fighting each other. They're absolute nutters that yell random stuff while riding around on bikes and vehicles that are very Mad Max style, or like Orc Boys if Warhammer is more your thing. Then we have the third mysterious Cell faction, which is kind of like a cross between Skynet and the Machine City from the Matrix. Although final details are yet to be confirmed, it's likely this third faction will again play differently from the other 2. Battlefall is the heavy metal of RTS games. It's fast, it's frantic. You build up a base with a bunch of towers to protect you, while churning out infantry, vehicles and choppers to swarm over the map and fight the enemy in a variety of choke points. There are no power plants, which along with the no limit on your unit numbers makes the game feel somewhat unwieldy at times, but undeniably fun in an old school sense. There's a Battlefall bonus system where you can periodically upgrade the health, speed or damage of troops in a certain radius. An intriguing system that it will be interesting to see develop over time. The mission variety is varied and generally quite well designed for an RTS, but it can be difficult to distinguish between different units at the moment, especially the larger vehicles that all look kind of the same, especially in the middle of a fight with a ton of units. Oh, and there is theoretically no cap on your unit count, so you could conceivably churn out a ridiculous army limited only by your PC's performance. Right now, as of early access, the FNET campaign is fully playable, alone, with a friend, or a random from the lobby browser, with higher difficulty by default when you team up with a friend. The Scrapper and Cell campaigns won't be available on day 1 of early access, they'll be coming later. If competitive play is more your thing, you can play head-to-head against random humans in a 1v1 format across a variety of maps that are generally designed to funnel your troops into confrontational choke points. Although we are currently restricted to 1v1 on day 1 of early access, the intention is to open this up to more options later on. If you're looking for a AAA polished evolution of the Command & Conquer formula, then you're in the wrong place. It's an indie game that has just hit early access, which is exciting. It's full of potential, with passionate devs trying to make a success of it, who are active on the game's Discord and actively taking feedback on Steam discussions. So if that sort of thing excites you, and you like the idea of being able to support indie developers and potentially help to shape this style of game, then you should take a closer look at Battlefall State of Conflict, as you might want to get in on the ground floor as the game grows. Though at the current price you may want to wishlist and wait for some initial updates and fixes to come to the game before actually pushing the button to purchase. It's clearly inspired by Command & Conquer, especially Tiberian Sun, but also trying to do things a little different. If you have any questions about the game, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer. If you've played the game and have any points you'd like to add, then please do in the comments below.